Welcome to this AI training video. In this video, you will learn about the completion status data insight in AAI and how you can use it to monitor your job run health. We will explore the completion status data insight through everyday scenarios faced by AAI users to manage their workflows efficiently. Before we get to the scenarios, let's first see how a completion status data insight can help you in your daily tasks. The completion status data insight gives you an overview of the final status of all completed jobs in AAI. With a completion status data insight, you can gain insights into how jobs have completed, whether they were successful, failed, terminated, or completed with warnings. You can monitor how jobs ended across multiple schedulers. Isolate jobs by their respective statuses for focused analyses. You can organize your data by specific job attributes and filter by job definitions. And investigate job completion patterns over intervals of time. Let's also explore what you can see in a completion status data insight. The completion status data insight in AAI shows you both a graphic and a tabular view of the final status of jobs in an interval of time. The graphic is a series of tiles organized in an ascending order of severity. The tiles, each with a color-coded icon representing a specific state, allow you to quick filter the table by their statuses. And the table shows you the details of your job executions depending on how you define the data insight. Now let's see how the completion status data insight helps AAI users to monitor and manage their daily tasks. Meet Alex. She manages automation workflows for daily transaction reconciliations at Apex 10, a fictitious global financial institution. She uses data insights in AAI to manage multiple processes across the schedulers she's responsible for. In the first scenario, Alex has been contacted by an application team at Apex 10 that utilizes multiple clients on different atomic systems and IWSZ on the mainframe. They are now beginning to utilize Airflow for their latest project and need a consolidated view of all jobs in trouble states to stay ahead of any SLA breach. Alex starts with creating a new data insight by clicking on the Add Data Insight button on the Data Insights list page. In the new Data Insight page, Alex starts with the basic information by selecting Type, followed by Completion Status. She names this data insight Red Flags because she needs to monitor the jobs that ended in a trouble state. In the Columns tab, Alex sees a list of available job attributes from which she can select the columns she wants to see in the data table. The Selected Job Attributes pane shows the selected columns that will appear in the data table. Alex sees the default attributes that will be included in the data insight. For this data insight, Alex includes the run machine and scheduler attributes from the AAI grouping. She uses the right arrow to move her selection to the Selected Job Attributes pane. She then uses the arrows at the top of the Selected Job Attributes pane to organize the sequence of the columns. In the Date tab, Alex picks a relative 15-day interval since she needs to analyze patterns over a longer interval. She can also pick an absolute date range, but not for this view. In the Filters tab, Alex notices the default filter set to the Status attribute. In the drop-down, Alex also sees other job attributes she can pick to filter the data. The Values drop-down reveals the different scheduler-specific job statuses. For this data insight, Alex picks all the trouble states for AutoSys, IWSZ, and Airflow schedulers. She can also add more filter conditions by clicking on Add Criteria. Alex proceeds to schedule the data insight to run daily with an email report to her ops team. She then shares the data insight with her admin team with edit privileges and customizes her report view in the Report Settings tab by uploading a custom XML. Alex clicks on the Save and Run button to see the results of her data selection. Alex now has a clear view of all jobs that ended in trouble states across the schedulers. The completion status data insight shows Alex both graphic and tabular views of the data. The graphic, visualized as tiles, show an ascending order of jobs, each tile representing a specific state in respective schedulers. The statuses are represented by color-coded icons, which also appear against the status column in the data table. Alex can quick filter the table by selecting a checkbox that appears on each tile. This way, Alex can explore jobs in specific completion states. Like on other data insights, Alex can reorganize the columns, modify the column width, or apply additional sort filters to the data table. With that, Alex is prepared to analyze jobs in failed or terminated states in the schedulers. She proceeds to save this to her dashboard by clicking on the Action menu. That concludes the first scenario on exploring trouble job executions. Before we explore the second scenario, let's do a recap of what we learned from the first. From the first scenario, we learned that the completion status data insight gives you an overview of how jobs ended in AAI. You see both graphical and tabular views of the data. The graphic is a series of tiles organized in an ascending order of severity. The tiles, each with a color-coded icon representing a specific state, allow you to quick filter the table by their statuses. You can organize data by job attributes and filter the data by job definitions. And as with other data insights in AI, you can schedule and share the data insight and customize your report settings. Now, let's take a look at another scenario. In this scenario, Alex needs to monitor a critical data transformation process in AutoSys. Specifically, she needs to monitor the command jobs that execute shell scripts for extracting and processing large volumes of data. Alex has already created a completion status data insight to monitor all AutoSys jobs. She now needs to analyze how the command jobs end on a daily basis. Alex starts with the Data Insights list page in AAI. She identifies the AutoSys jobs completion status data insight she had created. She observes this data insight is filtered by all completion states in the AutoSys scheduler. She now needs to add the job type criteria to the filters. Alex clicks on the Action menu to edit the data insight. In the Basic Information tab, she first renames this data insight to reflect the additional filter she will apply. Alex then proceeds to the Columns tab and observes the data she has already included in the selected job attributes. She needs to add the job type column to the selected job attributes. Alex expands the AAI grouping from the Available Job Attributes pane and selects Job Type. She clicks on the arrow on the right to add this to the selected Job Attributes pane. Alex had previously defined a descending sort order on the priority of jobs. She decides to retain this sort order and uses the arrows above to move the job type column. This will ensure she sees the job type beside the job name in the table for a quick reference. In the Filters tab, Alex had filtered by status for all completion states in AutoSys. She clicks on the Add Criteria button to include the command job type as an additional filter. In the new criteria selection, Alex picks job type from the AAI grouping and enters the criteria for this job type in the value field. Alex now has a view of how all the command jobs in AutoSys ended on a daily basis. She quick filters the data to look up only the failed jobs and clicks on the Action menu to download a CSV of this data for further analysis. With that, we conclude the second and the last scenario on analyzing a specific job type with a completion status data insight. Let's now do a quick recap of what we learned from this scenario. From the second scenario, we learned that you can modify your column views by editing the job attributes. You can search for specific attributes in the Available Job Attributes pane. Define primary and secondary sort criteria on your data. You can use the search functionality in filter selections. You can also include nested filter criteria in your data insight view. And, like with other data insights, you can take more actions on your data insight. Now let's review how you can use a completion status data insight again. The completion status data insight gives you an overview of the final status of all completed jobs in AAI. With a completion status data insight, you can gain insights into how jobs have completed, whether they were successful, failed, terminated, or completed with warnings. Monitor how jobs ended across multiple schedulers. Isolate jobs by their respective statuses for focused analysis. Organize your data by specific job attributes and filter by job definitions. And investigate job completion patterns over intervals of time. That brings us to the end of the overview on the completion status data insight. Thank you.